welcome back to my channel. I'm talking quietly because story of my life, the baby's sleeping. That's the only time I have to film really, unless I want him kind of crawling all over me. Braxton's about to bark because he thinks I'm talking to somebody. So I recently had posted my 5-minute makeup must-haves on my Instagram story. I had posted a poll on there if you guys wanted to see my top like 5 drugstore favorite foundations and things like that, and it was 100% yes. So that is what I'm going to be doing today, sharing my top 5 favorite drugstore foundations. So since we are currently living at my dad's because of our like living situation and all of that, I do not have all of my makeup. So I only have 2 physical examples of foundations here, but for the other 3 I will be including like as many pictures as I can of like the bottles they come in, the applicators and things like that. So hopefully that is still helpful, and let's jump right in. First foundation I want to talk about is one of my ride or die foundations, and that is the Milani Conceal Imperfect. So I'm not going to share my shades just because I live in Maine and we have all 4 seasons here. So I'm constantly changing shades and I never actually feel confident in my shade. I'm just going to disregard that and talk specifically about the foundation formula and packaging. So this is under $10 at the drugstore. I love that this has a pump. It has a glass bottle, very kind of like high-end packaging, which I really appreciate. This is a super high coverage. I love it. It is buildable, and once you apply it all over your face, it is still very skin-like. It doesn't look very makeup-y. Now, I have a friend that has the opposite kind of skin type that I do. I have like normal combination skin, and she just has a very like oily skin. And we tend to not like really enjoy the same face products just because she has such different skin than I do. She has been the only person so far that I have like directly recommended this to who did not like it. So that is just something to keep in mind. Maybe if you have very oily skin, this may not be the foundation for you. But my best friend I know has been using this, and I've recommended this to so many other people, and they always come back to me saying thank you, I love it so much. So yes, very high coverage. If I ever do anyone's hair and makeup for like prom and things like that, I actually gravitate towards this one just because it is so high coverage. It photographs really well, and I just really love this. So the next one I want to talk about is the foundation that I am actually using right now. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth. So I had used this before, and I didn't remember like being crazy about it or anything. And then this winter, my skin has been super dry. I'm also currently pregnant, so my skin is all over the place. And I grabbed this and started using it again and have really been loving it. So that is what I am using today. I actually have a ton of breakouts over here that I haven't fully tried to cover, but I would say this foundation did a very good job of just kind of lightening the appearance of them and everything. So this does not have a pump. It has a pour, which it's not my favorite at all. I really wish it had a pump. They may have this in a pump bottle at this point. I'm not sure. Like I said, I bought this one a little bit ago. I've also tried the matte one, and I did like that one as well. Just right now, this is one of my top favorites. I think it's so good. It's so skin-like. It's so buildable, and it blends out so quickly, so easily, and it just gives like a nice satin finish to your skin. I think if you have normal to dry skin, which it actually says on here that it's for normal to dry skin, which is exactly how I would explain my skin to be, I think this is a great pick for you. I just want to say that all of the foundations that I'm mentioning in today's video, I do not have a problem with like rubbing off or wearing off throughout the day. That is like my biggest pet peeve with foundation. I am not somebody who touches up in the middle of the day or anything. I might slap on a little more lip gloss or a little more like liquid lipstick halfway through the day, but other than that, like I do not touch my face, and I want it to look good all day. So all of the foundations that I'm talking about today wear very well, and I don't have a problem with them wearing off. With that said, I do set my foundations for the most part, at least in my T-zone. So yeah, I highly recommend setting them, but then you should not have a problem with them rubbing off. So the next foundation that I want to talk about is the Makeup Revolution, what is it called? Okay, so it's called the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. This foundation is very full coverage. One of my favorite things about this foundation is the packaging. So the packaging is really nice, and it's glass, and it's like a frosted glass, so it looks really nice. It feels really nice in your hand, and then it has the rose gold cover, which I also really appreciate. I just like things that look pretty on your vanity, or just kind of that make you happy looking at them. So yeah, I appreciate the packaging. And then I also like it has the twist off top with a doe foot applicator. I know it's not the most hygienic applicator and some people do not like it, but you can always apply it to the back of your hand if you don't like the idea of putting it directly on your face. But I loved using the doe foot applicator and just putting like a few swipes on my face. I thought it was so quick and easy, and then it just blends out flawlessly. I love the coverage with this. I love the finish of this, and it wears really well all day. My only thing with this foundation is I do find that it settles into my smile lines a little bit. I would definitely say that most foundations do settle into my smile lines. I have like pretty big smile lines, so I just kind of feel like that's one of those things that if everything else about the foundation is amazing, I'll kind of put up with it and I'll just like kind of tap it out when I notice it. But if I do set it correctly, it tends to be a lot better. And that is the only negative thing that I have to say about this foundation. I would highly recommend this if you are looking for a full coverage, kind of more luxurious feel drugstore foundation. The only thing with this one is I don't believe that you can get it like at a Walgreens, Target, Walmart, anything like that. I believe it's just at Ulta. So if you have an Ulta in your area, I highly recommend trying this out. I've actually tried the concealer and it is incredible. One of my favorite concealers as well, which if you guys want to see like my top 5 drugstore concealers, let me know and I'll make another video on that. But also, as far as your shade, you can always go into Ulta, and somebody brought this to my attention the other day that they only thought the Ulta consultants would help you shade match and things like that with the the luxury brands and the expensive side of the store, and they will definitely help you with the other side of the store. Yes, if you need help finding your shade, don't be afraid to ask at Ulta. Next foundation I want to talk about is the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation. So this foundation was my go-to. I repurchased it probably 3 bottles in a row for like an entire year. It's what I used. I highly recommend this. I think over all of these foundations, if you don't really know what kind of skin type you have, if you are intimidated by, you know, buying something specifically for oily or dry skin, then just get the Superstay. I think it is a great all-over foundation for all skin types, and I just have never really heard of anyone not being a fan of it. I always recommend it along with the Milani. I always recommend this one and then the Superstay. I just think those are such great foundations, and like I said, I feel like I always get positive feedback and like thank you for these foundations. So the Superstay, I believe, does come with a pump now, which is great. It's in a glass bottle, pretty classic packaging, but the formula, again, great coverage. It's buildable, it's blendable, and it just wears so nice on your skin. It doesn't crease on me, and it doesn't fade throughout the day. And they also have a lot of colors along with the Fit Me. Fit Me has so many shades, guys, so many shades. If you feel like you have a unique skin tone or skin shade and you have problems finding your match, check out the Fit Me and Superstay, because I feel like they have a wide color range. The Milani one probably has the smallest color range. But anyway, if you are here trying to find a new drugstore favorite foundation and you don't want to try out a million of them, I would just highly recommend trying out the Superstay. See if you like it. I will be very surprised if you don't. The last product I want to talk about is the L'Oreal Infallible line. So this one I'm just kind of grouping in the line because I've used the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte, Pro Glow, and then also the 24-hour Fresh Wear, I think it's called. The Pro Glow and Pro Matte, depending on what finish you want, these foundations are so good. They come in a squeeze tube, a little like screw off top, and then a little squeeze tube. They're very easy to put on the back of your hand. I do like the packaging. If you like more of like a squeeze tube, I really appreciate their packaging. I think it's really good. And the Pro Glow, again, is great if you like more of that dewy finish. It has good coverage. It is more like medium coverage, whereas the Pro Matte has a little bit more full coverage to it. But with that said, they're both very buildable. I think they're easy to blend. I remember being like, I don't like, you know, matte. I tend to like more like satin kind of finishes, and one of my friends had recommended the Infallible Pro Matte, and I was like, you know what, I'll just give it a go. Loved it. I mean, you can still throw on some highlighter and give yourself that glow, but the way it makes your skin look is just so like high-end. Honestly, it looks like you're wearing high-end foundation. It is more of a foundation that you can obviously tell that there's makeup on your face, not in a bad way, more in a good way. But also with the Pro Matte, I believe I did not set that foundation, especially where I kind of have combination to dry skin. I believe I just wouldn't set that one, and that worked out for me. But if you are like more of like a BB cream girl or something like that, then this isn't going to be the foundation for you. Maybe go for the Pro Glow. But yeah, highly recommend the matte. The Fresh Wear is also really good. That one comes in a glass bottle with a pump. It's kind of like a happy medium foundation, all around good one. So yeah, highly recommend trying out that line if you have been interested. So yeah, guys, that is absolutely it for today's video. Like I said, if you want to see my like top 5 favorite drugstore concealers or top 5 favorite drugstore lip products or anything like that, let me know if you guys would find that helpful. And thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.